couldn't tell, but something happened on the Tripod Trail. Giants and dragons are corrupting us all. If we don't get help, we will all go to hell. Did you hear the news out of Wayback Cave? A big holder tried to make us their slaves. Mind players trying to control our brains. I just woke up and the village was razed. We need the Stronghold to protect us for the night. We need the Stronghold to help us with this fight. We need the Stronghold. We need the Stronghold to go searching through the game. We need the Stronghold. We need the Stronghold. It's been a week since we saw Dave. A mighty group of adventurers. They're savage as hell, but they may be mad enough to get us through this spell. When they are together, they are the Stronghold. We are the Stronghold. We are the Stronghold. We're here to show you the way. We are the Stronghold. We are the Stronghold. We might just have to save the day. We're just a group of heroes, yeah. We're big and we're small. We may not be the best in town, but we answered the call. But we are together. We are the Stronghold.
God, I was farting around. Hello, everybody. Are we back? It's been a while. We have all recovered from the glorious pilgrimage to, what is it, Dungeons and Dragons Mecca in Lake Geneva. We had a great time. Coco was there. Skylar, who is off camera right now, but you can hear his giant voice in the background. We got to meet tons and tons of amazing people. I got to stalk Vince Vaughn in probably one of the most awkward encounters with a celebrity ever, which was strange. So I'll never look at him in his eyes ever again while I'm there.
Next year, he's just running the other direction.
I was gonna say, should we ask any more for that information on a live stream, or should just go, okay.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, just go, oh well, that's Tim, and then move on.
Okay, cool. Just checking. I just want to make sure where we were with this level of this questioning. So that's fine.
We're going to keep our 988 up. We're at 420. We're going to keep it going through the year to see how much we can raise. Just as a constant charity throughout this, even though we'll be supporting other things like St. Jude's, etc., throughout the year, for when any other of our buddies want to run a charity. But 988 supports suicide awareness and mental health awareness. It is a anonymous text or call center where they can get you in touch with specialized counselors and get you from a dark space to a stable space, and just realize that you don't need to be having the worst possible day to call them. You can be just a little bit lonely and give them a call, and they can help you out of a hole, and maybe talk about whatever you want to talk about to someone very privately, which is good. So that being said, 988 is a good. Hello, everybody out there. Jetman, Annie, can't wait to play with you. Annie, I think Annie, are we all halflings? Is Annie going to be a halfling as well? Not sure.
Yes.
Or is she going to be the only?
The answer is yes.
Why are you
I know,
asking
The answer is
questions?
yes.
Just show up and have fun.
Let's see. What else? We got anything else kind of brewing? I think we're all in kind of waiting to see when campaign 3 starts. Just so if anybody else is out there watching and cares, we're slowly forming our next campaigns. We're all very active in Discord, designing characters and things like that. But today we are conducting our epilogue for the Divine Misfits. And in these sessions, for me, well, I would love to have had an epilogue, but Pete railroaded my life and destroyed certain.
No, you have got an absolutely epic epilogue when you have probably a 2-year campaign set up to recover you. So look, where do we get that? None of us has got that. You've got a whole campaign set up just for Sir Tim.
Everybody, that is gaslighting. No, it's too good to not do. But we'll get into what's going on in Faerun, and the future of Faerun, the future of all these characters as they go from level 13 to 20, in campaign. So they've transitioned from, much like the Epiones and the Connors of old, they have now transitioned to just Stronghold. You know what I mean? So super shots of what we'll call it. So it's tough to play a level 20 campaign. So what these folks are going to be doing is assembling, as there's so many of us. There's like, what, 15, I think now. So, you know, hey, the first 3 people that pop in, and we'll just run these 3 sessions, super shots, to go and save Sir Tim, or fight in the abyss, or do something fun. We'll just create these fun one-shots to keep balance in the world. But for these folks, they are still down outside in the battlefield of Gauntlgrim. Speaking of that, did everybody hear there's a new R.A. Salvatore, not that he needs a plug, but like there's another 3 books coming out. Yes. Yeah. Oop, do we have was that my echo?
Yeah, obviously.
Nope.
No.
What's that, Pete?
I was saying he obviously spent his book money on something important and now needs more.
Yeah, I'm hoping he shows up to GaryCon so I can stalk him as well. Yeah, he'd be in that pool, and I just.
He lives in England. He lives in England, actually. He lives in England, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Judgy, make it happen. Let's commence the stalking. Just kidding out there. We don't advocate that behavior whatsoever. Only in Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, you guys ready? Anybody ready? Anybody have anything they want to announce or anything like that? All right. And let's go. Look at this book. I'm getting to the back pages of it. Ooh. Okay. Epilogue of the Divine Misfits, written yesterday. As the Vonindod's form hisses and steams, the lava seeping into the cracks and fissures on the cavern floor. Small horns sound in unison from the stalactites and the stalagmite redoubts within the vast battlefield before Gauntlgrim. The light of the seraphim shines upon a great adamantine door. Filigreed with Delzun lore, the doors boom and a great pressure releases and cracks open. A light within shines from a distant throne. Your eyes pan down to the shadow of a dwarf with a round shield, a helm with 2 horns, one being broken off. And the great shadow of the king, with a weapon raised high, stretches to your feet as his last battalions flow out and pursue the denizens that you just previously fought. As you look back, the siege fortifications of the Drow, there is nothing. A few shadows slip away, but a lone robed woman floats in the distance. She points at the shadows retreating on the ground and cackles and disappears. The shadows recede from this new light that winces your eyes, but then is almost like a trick of the eye. As you see shadows pan away, another shadow remains in that spot. A whisper calls out as the second shadow pulls into the walls on both sides. First winter, then the whispered. You hear cackles, and the voice fades away, and the room goes quiet. As initiative is gone, you look around. Hi, Pip. Hi, Rachel. As you look around, yeah. Now the epic tale is over, and I'm just shouting into chat. My bad. So, the room has light from the Delzun Gauntlgrim as the great adamantine doors open. You know, there's bodies of goblins and a giant laying down somewhere, but the battle seems to be over. The stench of ichor from previously, maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior, where the dwarves fought. Hi, Mark. The dwarves fought a bunch of demons in there as well. If you're tracking some of the R.A. Salvatore lore, this is kind of post when the demons attacked Gauntlgrim and they kind of shut themselves in, and then the drow showed up and things like that. But there it is, this big pile of this colossal Vonindod is just in an adamantine, I repeat, adamantine pile of what was it, a colossus golem, right? A colossal golem is tough to say if you have
Vonindod. The Vonindod.
The Vonindod is a colossal golem. Yeah. But there you guys have it. I have a map there. Where Puente is on the map is where Gauntlgrim is, but you're there. Brunor Battlehammer is busy kind of conducting raids beyond you, and you hear him barking orders to folks as some wounded folks that were maintaining the last redoubts. If you were in Gary Con or whatever with us, they are falling back wounded into Gauntlgrim itself. You see people having big hugs and things like that. But we can go around the room. So Coco / Vespera, you had done your damage on Tiago Bayenre. I think that you booped over to the corner too, next to. Did you stay in the center of the fight, or were you off to the side of the cavern? I can't really remember. Where was Vespera last?
I think Vespera was going after the rider. I think that's the last the dragon rider. I think that's the last where she was.
Oh, okay. Yep. So Tiago fell. You guys you're right in front of those old wooden fortifications that the drow had built to encapsulate Gauntlgrim. You look over your shoulder and there's like one maybe berserker left who sits there, one of Puente's berserkers that he called from his Horn of Valhalla, and you see it, kind of like that, what is it, like Aragorn's guys or whatever, it kind of nods. You see him nod towards the king, and it, you see the berserker dissipate because the battle is over, and he needs to go back to Valhalla and rage, I suppose. But so you're there. Is there anything initially you want to do as the battle ends, and then I'll move down to Pete / Puente?
I definitely kind of want to go check on everybody in the group, see how they're faring, see if we've all made it out, and check on other of our allies as well in our group. Just make sure everybody is just here.
You do look and you see a bright light of this giant seraphim with the wheels and the eyes kind of shining, and the light dissipates, and another form as like this hand, think of just like the hand left from a Fifth Element, is being held by Puente, and then a naked Dark just appears, and its NPC video game loincloth is still there, you know what I mean? Like, just, that's random. But like, so there's an NPC, you know what I mean? Like there's a video game naked version, and well, not Baldur's Gate.
Modesty. There's modesty clothes.
That game's out of control. Yeah. Game's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So anyway, so you see Dark reform, and the Seraphim prepares to leave. You hear it boom out towards Gwyn, that you have done you've done right by Pelor. And like it shines, and your Sunblade mace, you know what I mean, has like an air of light to it. as well as the light of Palor stays in your sunblade. All right, let's see, Point. What would you like to do as the battle? The ears are ringing. Like the tinnitus is booming as things start getting quiet. You hear some distant clamoring and metal hitting from beyond, but you know that those dwarves are kind of handling whatever's going on back there.
I want to walk over to where the Vonindod was, and it's obviously in pieces, and I want to basically rip open its chest.
Okay.
And find
just as like an epic, last move. So there's gears. It's not as good as what you would form. It's what the fire giants built. This thing was built, like it's very steampunk. Built with more hate than anything else. Very hot to the touch still, but it's nothing that, you know what I mean. Like we're in epilogue mode, so these are the moves that you do during the cutscene. So your cutscene is, Vespera looks out for her friends. You jump in there, you rip it open. Is there anything you want to do inside?
Basically, find the bit that I would class as like its heart or its sort of thing, and basically just rip it out. And I'm going to present that to Bruno when I see him.
Okay. Yeah, you look down in there, and there is a glowing ruby called the Heart of Fire inside there. This thing is worth roughly 10,000 gold pieces, and you see it in there. It's like glowing like an Arkenstone situation, and you see it deep down in there, and you can just yoink you can like hold it, you know what I mean, above your head as like, what is this, like Magra and the Battle of Last of the Mohicans, when General Webb eats shit. Yeah, you just like pull this out.
Yep.
Or was it Colonel Monroe? It's been a long time since I've read Last of the Mohicans. But
a long time ago.
Yeah, General Webb made it. That's right. He's actually historical. Yeah. So yeah, as you pull this out, Gwen, you were sitting there. You received acknowledgement from the Seraphim, that you have done right by Palor's light, and it's Palor is honored to have you as the champion, the living champion on Faerun, and you know what I mean, like with Palor's light. But you see your Seraphim did its job during this battle, as Dark sacrificed his life to gather this flask that is in Puent's hand, by the way. Oh, no. Is it? No, because he was holding the hand, Rigamorta's hand, that had the flask on it. So yeah, so you kind of see this go. The Seraphim's there. I'll give it, if you want to interact just a little bit, there is a like, be not afraid. And you hear like music playing in this place. It's very biblically accurate for Faerun, which probably doesn't fit into Faerun, but And there's your Seraphim that's back there.
Ooh, that would be kind of taking in all that has happened in the battle, or the scenery, looking around, seeing who's still alive and who isn't, and hearing only moments ago the large Vonindod come crashing down, and seeing just this hand with a flask coming out of it. I'm like, yikes. But then seeing Dark come back and so on, the only thing I can truly say to the Seraphim before it does disappear is simply that I know I've called upon you a few times. I know I've summoned Palor's angels to help when the moments were at their most dire, and that I am eternally grateful to you and all those who watch over us in Faerun for your help in these battles, and helping us save all of these lives and these people and these lands and so on. and I shall not take your help for granted, and I will be eternally grateful in the future as well. And thank you once again for saving not only my life, but my friends' lives as well, including, obviously, you have Dark over there, who was simply just a hand, is now once again reborn naked. So thanks for that. But that's all I have to say, and I will continue to serve you faithfully.
Yep. Palor's light is more important now that we have entered the era of shadow and ice. Faerun looks to you as its champion, and then just it kind of flashes off. I'll give you all a boon from this creature as well. I'll have to look up what are they like, the major boons or whatever, because this is a battlefield. It doesn't have tons of treasures, you know what I mean, like laying around. So this is probably one of the last times we'll use what is this, the good old-fashioned Dungeon Master's guide here. But I think in the back of it there is what to give people when they pass like level 20 for for like rewards.
Is there one that supercharges my spirit guardians?
Absolutely not. But I mean, matter of fact, no. But yeah, I'll find that maybe during the break or whatever, and then I'll pass that off to you guys. Indefinite Madness. That's what you guys will get. I gotta find that. But is that all the questions you have for the Seraphim?
Not necessarily. There is one thing, and I did want to apologize to the Seraphim, is to let, and I'm sure Palor already knows, I did have to sacrifice his mace during that last summoning to have the Seraphim join us. I had to sacrifice the was it the
it was the
Mace of Disruption.
It was your Mace of Disruption, was it not?
Yeah, I had this. It was the only thing left that I could truly sacrifice to give me the percentage I needed to actually summon it. So I apologize for that. I'll take whatever punishments come with that, but I just figured I would apologize now because I didn't have any other options. It was either that or we all die. So
you gain he just basically lets you know that you are always Palor's mace, as it just what I mean, kind of passes on. Let's see. So you guys will all receive the boon of perfect health, which is you are now immune to all diseases and poisons, and you have advantage on Constitution saving throws. That seems good. For a mild level 13 boon from a Seraphim. And then that goes away, but the light is down, and the only light that you guys see from beyond the adamantine door is from within Gauntlgrim itself. And there are various like red flames lighting now, and they're across these great walls of stone, very well built into the cavern. And you see probably almost 500 meters to the left and right of these great adamantine doors, or 500 yards of just this solid wall that was carved in to make it look menacing to anybody who would dare attack Gauntlgrim. Dark, you're back. You're very nude. All of your kit has been absolutely melted, but you literally, you know what I mean, did the super sick move to bring down the Vonindod yourself. You see the Seraphim, bring you back to life, and you're clutching this flask in your hands. You look over, your parents come down those slate stairs, and they're kind of peeking out from, you're in the middle of the battlefield, and you see them hugging each other and embracing that their son is still alive. And Puent is holding you know what I mean? When you come back, Puent is basically still holding your wrist, and as you reform, Puent, nods and then runs over and rips out this giant ruby, and you're kind of sitting there, you're feeling kind of tingly as you have a different like tan from here to here on your body. That's the equivalent of your scar, is anything that was scarred up on this hand, the rest of it, like, no scars, you know what I mean? Fresh as a baby. Yeah.
Don't get too close to the heat. You might get sunburn really fast with that new stuff.
That's true.
Have both of his arms now, because he had like
you're back, and perfect. You feel that perfect health from the Seraphim, and yeah, other than just it's you, a loincloth, and a gauntlet. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course you have the forge key that your parents had. You know what I mean? Like, they're still hanging on to the forge key, which is kind of like a codex to work the adamantine forge in Khazad. Let's read your Khazad Angrud.
I'm sure there's like a moment of just like tinnitus of this constant hearing or yelling in Dark's ear from like dying yet again. But after that momentary lapse fades out, he'll kind of reassess the battlefield. I mean, I don't know what burning alive feels like, but
yeah,
it's probably going to take him a moment, and then yeah.
Okay, I'll basically leave the Seraphim there for a little bit so that you can all like ask a question or something like that. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be the ultimate Google while it's kind of sitting there, hovering in place. It doesn't seem to respond to anybody else, but the pentultimate Google is still there. So quickly, everybody's kind of coming together. You know what I mean? Like, you see Dark coming back. Is there anything else you want to do, Dark, before I move back around the horn?
He'll probably look at the flask to make sure that it's like locked from where he first initially had it, to make sure that primordial elemental is like trapped in there for good.
Yeah, you sense that it's a curved flask. It's got a topper on top of it. You know how to open it. You know what I mean? That it takes 3 steps, but inside of it is where the runes are. The runes are like threaded with like a bright molten color to it. Like, something is inside there. It's a little warm to the touch, but the flask is, it's got plot armor in this. And this flask has been around. It's actually built into the book itself. Well, that book, but I don't know how they get a absolute fire primordial into there, but thank you, Chris Perkins. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for writing that into the lore, because a iron flask can hold the Dawn Titan, but it's in there.
It's a special iron flask. It's not the normal iron flask.
This is the iron flask. How about that? Yeah.
Not basic.
Yeah. And it's got a chain, so you can, you know what I mean, put this thing around your neck so you're not naked. Yep. So you're in your birthday suit with but someone walks up and they throw a robe over your shoulders, because it's PG-13 and there's robes everywhere, so they put a robe over your shoulders. There you
go. He'll look at Quint. So, did we win? Is it over?
I'll look at Dark and go, we've won this battle. It looks like we've succeeded here, but That as I see that you're actually alive now, I'll slap you around the back of the head and go, "What fool jumps into an arm? Look, I know it's worked. I know you've come out of this, but what were you thinking?"
To be fair, I wasn't. And when I got in there, it was way hotter than I originally thought it was going to be. So here we are. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
There's some lessons that you learn young, and there's some lessons that you shouldn't ever have to learn.
Stove is hot. Yes.
Lava's hotter.
Well, thanks for the epic boons chart. I appreciate that. You were quick with that. All right, so it's all of you. You get the sense over the next, you see a bunch of dwarves running around and collecting a lot of stuff and bringing it back in. People are beginning to go out and pull in the wounded and things like that. You guys can take part in the caring for the wounded, getting the battle to kind of steady down. A lot of the dwarves retake that outer fortification and use that as a perimeter for the time period. So they run up, and you feel a sense of relative safety. Things that you pass there was this gigantic ancient white dragon that boogied out of here. You remembered a bell ring out in the giants, like almost like there was some sort of confusion. They gave up the fight and all ran off in other waves. You remember there was like drow, there was like an arch, what are they called? Not arch priestess, a matron mother was there as well, and kind of departed. But for all intents and purposes, it's the Ewok party in Endor right now, where the battle is over, and you hear Brunor wanting to prepare the pyres for the dwarves that were lost, and honor the fallen dead kind of thing, and he prepares a big feast in the evening, and you guys kind of realize that there's something that's going to happen there. And you see various, here's the shout out to the Gary Con crew that was there. You see some various other folks that came to the call to Gauntlegrim. You see like 2 Duragar that are wearing different clothes. One Duragar's holding like a fallen Duragar. So Duragar fought in in defense of Gauntlegrim. You see one kind of crying over a fallen father. You see a drow ranger with his hand on his shoulder, and you see a larger, like a taller woman in plate mail with black hair, shaved on the side, and like picks up and hugs this like goblin that's wearing a business suit with like a monocle, and and he's got like a rapier, and you see them like walk back into the place. So there's various other folks that are here as well that came to the call of Gauntlegrim, and this wasn't just a dwarf drow thing. This was the hold back a potential world saving moment, and you guys did that. It's very clear that you saved the world. This creature was gonna absolutely dominate the earth and maybe get in there and rekindle Mount Hotnow again. So great job. So they're gonna start this big party, and how we'll run this thing is you guys can sit down at the table, and we can do this whole. So for this session, we're gonna do 10 days. All right, of where you guys go. Do you break up? Do you I can answer these questions while you're kind of sitting here. I was like, so what's next, and what can I and can't I do? For example, Dark, you have all of the devices to rekindle Ironforge, or Kazakh, that word, the adamantine forge in the artist formerly known as Iron Slag. to turn that back into its original thing, which was like the weapons making place of the realm. So there's those things. Points. You're a king, so you have a kingdom. You know, Gwyn, that you were given a lordship of Sundabar.
I think so, yes.
Slash a bishop's. Like, there's no bishop over there, right? Like, so you're getting various missives from Archbishop Henry. You know what I mean? Like, decreeing you, if you do accept, to be not just the lord of this place, but the bishop of Sundabar. Like build a cathedral in the name of peace and Palor, and they donate money to build this giant rose mirror, like a Notre Dame kind of thing to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, to have like a Palor rose glass. You know what I mean? So there's these things. You get messages, Vespera, of families of Ganassi that are arriving in Dark Lake, your home, and they talk about this dragon turtle that's just sitting out there staring. It's just sitting out there. It's like this menacing dragon turtle that's just parked outside in the bay, just kind of in waiting. So there's all these things over the next 10 day. So I'll go around the room here. The party happens. You guys can do anything retroactively. Like I did this. I looked for loot. I did whatever. You guys can. This is your epilogue. And what I do is, step 1 is your first 10 day. Then I'll give you, all right, 30 days later, you are doing X. What do you want to do for the next 30 days? And that's where your character will be. Your character in the next super shot will, we're offline, Skylar. I think. Are we? No. A commercial? I'm confused. Are we on? I'm sorry. My stuff.
It just froze on my
it just
end.
crashed for me.
Offline, and then
Yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah, the stream just crashed.
Did it? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, you guys just
it's frozen
staying
on my end.
offline.